All right, welcome to the podcast. We're still going with Jabbermouths, yeah.
I like Jabbermouths.
I like
I
Jabbermouths.
think we should.
Fine by me.
Oh, cool.
I think we should stick with that.
I'm JD,
I'm Barrett.
And I'm Ethan.
and we fuck around and watch good, bad, and everything in between movies, and then we just talk about them. This week we decided to just watch our lovable upgraded Muppets. Which are just the 1990 hit film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, there's a lot of hitting in it.
I loved this film as a kid. As a kid, I was all about all three of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, even the one where they go to the past.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk
Somebody-
about that one later. You and I
somebody
gotta
that-
debate that.
Oh, we're gonna. Oh, I'm an adult now. We're gonna talk about this. I was surprised about how much of it was just boring walking through sewers. There is so much.
It was a lot of sewer walking. That
There's-
is true.
There's a weird amount of, hey guys, you know what they need in this scene? Let's go through some more New York sewers. Am I right? Am I right? I
You
have
don't
problems.
like walking in sewers?
You don't like that?
I don't
You
like watching.
I
don't like watching Kermit the Frog's disgusting older brothers going through the sewers. Okay.
What I want to
I
imagine
don't.
though is in 1990, a dad brings his kids to the theater, but he is actually a New York, kind of like blue collar worker who works in the sewers, just in the middle of the theater. That is not what a fucking sewers look like. Just this, Dad, sit
Angry.
down.
Those sewers are dry. Half of them are wet. None of them have more than 6 inches of water. Fuck this
How
movie.
they can walk through that? No, there's skateboard in it. We're going home. Get your
We're going home.
jackets.
Get up. Oh my god. Okay. The puppets for 1990 were actually really good.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the Henson Workshop,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Henson
They
did
know
it,
what
right?
they're doing, yeah.
Right.
Well, his company did. I
His
wouldn't
company.
directly, credit him, but yeah,
What I mean,
his puppet group. It was
He
like
owns
basically
the
all
company
yeah.
that
he
did
owns the company. Yeah, that's
right?
true.
That's like, saying Steve Jobs didn't do the iPhone. No, he really didn't, but he's getting the credit for it. Because it's his company that did it. Are you saying you're wrong?
Are you going to tell me that Steve Wozniak, or Andy Wozniak,
I think
It was Steve
Steve
Wozniak.
Wozniak.
It was,
Okay.
it was
Steve Wozniak.
Two Steves.
does not get credit for the iPhone?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I was going to say, who the fuck? I didn't know who Steve... Anyway,
For the, 1990,
Yeah.
the puppets are very, very good.
Yeah.
Looking back on it from our perspective now, as modern people who are used to Thanos as the
as
fully
just
digital character,
amazing CGI
Yeah.
possibilities. Yeah,
it's
but
it
really
is-
rough. But
it-
we can't judge a movie by our standards today.
But I can judge the racist parts. I
there are
can
some
judge
weirdly racist parts. So the Foot Clan. If you guys
Foot
know,
Clan.
if anyone knows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
I think everyone does.
lore,
I
I don't know
didn't.
that everyone does. Ethan didn't. Yeah, not everybody's
Yeah, but he
into the
does.
nerdy shit like you are.
I wouldn't call it nerdy shit. I
I don't know. TMNT is a little
something that's
nerdy.
been airing on Nickelodeon, and then what, they got a new show every couple of years.
So does Power Rangers. That shit's nerdy as fuck.
No, that's for kids.
So is Teenage Mutant. The show Power Rangers is for kids. You know
Yeah.
that.
Both of
And it's
these are for
nerdy as
kids.
fuck. And it's nerdy as fuck.
Okay.
I don't think it's
Anyway.
nerdy as fuck. I think it's just things kids
We'll
enjoy.
agree-
It's a cartoon.
we
It's
will
a fun
agree-
cartoon.
We'll agree to disagree. I think if you're an adult,
Moving on.
the Foot Clan are these weird sadistic ninjas who just
Who also
who-
don't really hurt people. They just steal wallets. They just show in the
Yeah.
beginning they're stealing wallets.
They're even reported as ninja thieves in New York.
But
Like that's
no.
how they're treated.
They're the Fast and Furious of New York. They're stealing VCRs.
We're real bad
And
people.
radios.
Oh, can
That's
we
true.
please rip off one of the masks and it's just Dom from Fast and Furious under there? Yeah, because they're all like, we're a family. That's who
Yeah,
we are.
exactly.
That's true.
I wrote in my notes,
Oh.
the third thing I wrote here.
Oh
again.
boy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The third thing I wrote is that they're stealing stuff all over New York, and I wrote it's actually 3 Honda Civics.
3 of them just learned how to drive and decided
Yeah.
to go do their own thing, and that's the Fast and Furious.
Yo, I'm not liking this Shredder guy in the Foot Clan. Let's go to Los Angeles and live there. And that's where we have Dominic Toretto.
So are we now agreeing that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 live-action film,
Takes place
is
in the
the
same
prequel?
uniform.
Prequel to Fast and Furious.
Fast
That's
and
exactly it.
Furious.
Yes, and it's all in the same universe. Yes, exactly.
Oh, Dom, why are you bald? You can grow hair. I'll never forget those green heroes from a life of crime.
Who taught me that I should live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Mostly under the sewers.
Oh, that's great. But no, the Foot Clan, they're mostly American. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way.
American,
They are
yeah.
stereotypically American. Like, they
Stereotypical,
all
like,
have
New
New
York.
York accents.
Yes.
There's white, black. I mean, the point is none of
White,
them
black,
are from
the rest,
Asia.
the
White,
rest.
black, Hispanic, there's everybody in there. But the point I'm making is none of them are from Asia. Which is why it is really difficult not to laugh and be very angry the first time you hear somebody in a foot mask.
Say the river.
Yeah, they're stereotypically really racist.
It's like, Miss O'Neill, we deliver a message. Oh, buddy,
and then
I'm
she
just
backhands April O'Neil.
As soon as they said the river, I'm just like, oh, buddy, we're in for a rough
It's
time.
so bad. And their master, Sensei Tatsu?
Tatsu, yeah,
it
it was
Sensei
Tatsu.
Tatsu, who is
He's
like,
always
just walking, talking stereotypes.
He's just
like,
walking
really
around
hardcore
in just
stereotypes.
like literally like just samurai robes. Just
Yeah, he's walking out in like kimono robes.
He says only stereotypical
Exactly.
ninja thing.
He says
Never.
almost-
What is it? Never take your eyes off your opponent and kicks
Yeah.
the guy in the face and the enemy. Yeah.
He kicks a teenager in the face.
He
Let's
beats
be
up,
clear.
Who
he
doesn't
beats
wanna
up a
kick-
lot of teenagers.
Who
They're
doesn't
so
want to
weird.
kick a teenager in the face? Come on, walking down the street, I want to kick a teenager in the face some days.
Okay, we obviously don't want to kick teenagers. What he's getting at, and why we should... Ethan's like, we need to cut this out of the podcast.
I
I don't
disagree.
think we should, because he's making a point. Because Casey, he's like another fun vigilante who wears a hockey mask and makes a bunch of hockey references. Just enjoys beating the
He just
shit out of
beats
teenagers throughout the whole movie.
Maybe be okay if he was a little younger, then he takes off his mask and he's like fucking 35.
No, he's 35 beating the shit out of teenagers, saying
And
that
that's
he's
the
a
thing.
hero.
And he's explaining his with Casey Jones. He's explaining, like his origin to April O'Neil. He's like, yeah, I used to play professionally. I'm like, okay, so how'd you choose a life of crime? I like to imagine he just really got the shit end of the stick in a divorce. And how is he coping with it? Boom, be a vigilante, beat up teenagers. It's fun.
Just world's shittiest Batman out here with
I'm
a fucking
a sportsman.
cricket mallet
And
beating
he
the
can't-
shit out of
He can't even get the hockey reference right. No, he says 5 minutes for roughing, and you can't get a 5-minute penalty.
We have a
for roughing.
residential hockey expert, because neither
And I'm
Bear or I know
checking to
anything
make sure
about
that
hockey.
I'm not fucking this up. 'cause
Ethan
I'm
loves
scared to
hockey,
fuck
so
this up.
it was funny watching this movie whenever they made a hockey reference, because
Okay.
Ethan was either really, really happy or livid, because it was either actually correct or wasn't right with the rules, and it went over my head.
I know the one thing I love talking about the most, because it's been prevalent in like all of Ninja Turtles media, is Raphael with his trench coat and fedora, and just him
And
looking
somehow
like
just
an
blends into
incel.
society.
He's just walking out like an incel with a big green face, like, excuse me, milady, I'm
Well, he
here.
totally abducts April O'Neil.
Oh yeah, well no, he's just
Part
like,
way through. He beats the shit out of a bunch of Foot Clan.
yeah, and then saves her because she's unconscious. Saves her, I say that with air quotes.
Yeah, well, he beats the shit out of them, and then he just takes her in the subway, and he doesn't even beat up the Foot Clan people well enough because they just get up and
down.
follow him, and well, it's not really tracking. They're like 100 feet away from each other, and Raphael just keeps going with it.
I still
April,
love him just
with
in
these
the-
guys right on his ass,
Just in
all
the
the way
trench
back
coat
home.
and the fedora, just, my beautiful milady, I'm here to save you and defend your honor and take you away to my basement lair.
Speaking of incels, fucking.
Speaking of incels,
no,
great tangent.
speaking of incels, can we talk about Master Shredder for a minute? Because the dude was like, and this is the issue I've had with Tatsu and with Shredder. They're all at best, right? Because it's been like 15 years since the turtles started growing up. At best, it was like in 1975, 1974, when all of this crazy shit happens, and in the flashbacks, they're all wearing like feudal Japan shit for most of it.
Kimonos and just
it's just cringy as fuck. And then the incel part is like, this is normal times. We're in the 80s and the 90s, and Master, quote unquote, Shredder decides to wear all these like blades on his shoulders, and he's got like almost
bladed
a Wolverine looking bladed
that he
gauntlet.
never uses, and that pisses me off.
And this dipshit looking helmet with like a
big blade on the side, the
coming
front.
out the side. That was my favorite moment, I think, of watching this with Ethan, is because he's never seen this. and he doesn't know a lot about TMNT. So when we first see him
silhouette,
incelling on like a bunch of video screens, and you hear him, Ethan goes, "Oh, it's Master Chief," and I fucking lost it.
It's Master Chief. The silhouette looked like Master Chief.
But I'm not wrong though, right? Shredder's a fucking incel. Shredder's
He's
totally
a
a fucking incel. He bought eBay
all that Mall
samurai
Ninja
gear.
shit. Yeah, he's got Mall Ninja shit, and he's an army of teens.
An army of teenagers.
And he speaks in a deep Darth Vader voice, even though you can see his mouth
moving in the mask. It's very gentle. I hate
the link to my eBay store for shitty Japanese samurai gear.
I feel like it's like a pyramid scheme. Like, I bet those kids had to pay for those goddamn awful suits with the bug eyes.
Oh, can we talk about the kid? They had this like little hangout.
They had the hangout
that
where
kids
they
would go to because they were all runaways.
Yeah.
And it was so
fucking
weird.
cool. I would have fucking hung out
there was
there.
like skateboard ramps. Oh yeah, that's cool. Teenager shit. We got little arcade setups. That's so much fun. We got Pepsi. Cool. We got cigars.
Joints.
Okay, that's a little. We have roulette. Why do we have that? We got poker. It's so much fun.
We have Sam Rockwell.
And Sam Rockwell is running the whole operation.
With a really bad mustache. And
when does he not have a bad mustache?
Rude.
I love Sam Rockwell. Don't get me wrong. He just doesn't do
like...
mustaches well. Did you guys see, what was it, Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen? He's in it. Sam Rockwell is in it, and he has the worst facial hair.
I still like the idea of the Foot Clan just like, hey kids, you wanna gamble and smoke cigarettes and drink Pepsi, and all these teens like, fuck yes I do.
It was the 90s, man.
Exactly.
It was all about it. I just love how the shot we get though is like a fucking 12-year-old with a giant cigar in his mouth, like comically large cigar in his mouth, playing pool.
I love when they all scram and one of the kids, like, they flee the poker table and he's like just putting out the cigarette on the table.
you gotta have good etiquette.
I feel like the modern version of this would instead they lure the kids in with vape juice and White Claws.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be lured in pretty easy.
Vape juice and White Claws.
Somebody who recently quit smoking, or vaping, Okay, so they follow Raphael, right? After he abducts April O'Neil.
Because they
get beat up, and then they escape in the van again, and then they go to the farm, and then they come home.
And the Master Splinter gets captured, and then they're like, "We gotta."
Yeah, they steal him first because they went to April O'Neil's place.
There's like 4 plot points in the whole movie.
That's true, though. It is very easy.
We beat up people. We get beat up. Raphael gets beat up. We have a weird farm sequence.
We all get beat up. We go to the farm.
No. My favorite part of the whole film is at the farm when we realize that for some fucking reason, all of the turtles have telekinetic powers with Master Splinter.
Just Force ghosts.
Exactly, yeah. Telekinetic powers.
So we're in the Star Wars universe now too.
Yeah.
Tell us about. I've rambled a lot. Somebody tell us about the fucking telekinesis bullshit that happens at the farm because it blew me away.
It's like, if you meditate, we can communicate. No, I don't think that's how any of that works, guys. They're all meditating around the fire. Which looks like, it looks like a chill wave playlist on YouTube of just 4 Ninja Turtles sitting around very peacefully around a fire. The fire turns blue. Ghost of Master Splinter, who's still alive, is like, my sons, I believe in you. You can do anything as long as you work together. The Michelangelo's crying for some reason. Then they're like, hey, we gotta...
Raphael's just like looking up and
down.
And he keeps looking at Leonardo like, you saw that, right? You saw what I saw.
Holy fucking shit,
I'm not high, right? That's real.
I do love that. In the movie, they all have the similar voices. They all sound pretty close together. And then suddenly Raphael, what the fuck is this? Eating my New York pizza. I'm walking here. Like, he sounds...
One slice each.
And it's 1990s PG, so he gets to say damn. And he says it so many times.
I know, it's just so funny.
It's like his catchphrase is just damn. Whether it's damn, I lost my sigh. Damn, Casey beat the shit out of me and now I gotta catch him. Yeah. Damn, I'm having this Footloose montage where I do cartwheels on a roof because I lost Master Splinter.
What I think is interesting also, though, is if we rearrange all the voice actors for all the Turtles, the only thing that's jarring is Raph's voice. Like,
everyone else is almost identical.
Versus, if you put Raph's voice suddenly on Donatello, it's so different. Hey, I'm fixing a fucking car over here.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They shafted Donnie so fucking hard.
I think they also shafted Leo.
Well, Leo was still kind of a leader. He played a backseat because they're still quote unquote young. It's the first movie of what they want to be a franchise. He's not the leader yet. Raphael got all the spotlight because he's the tormented,
90s
edgy young Yeah, that's what he
Edgelord
is.
who has a crush on an older woman.
They all do.
I
They
feel like
all
the
want to fuck
difference is
April.
Mikey. Mikey though was very forward. He's like, oh, she's a babe, and I'm like, you're not even the same species.
Well, see,
Why
I
aren't you
like
looking
Mikey,
at,
though.
Why? You know what I really want? I really want them to just be sitting around, just looking at National Geographic spreads of turtles. Like, oh fuck yeah. Gee, oh, look at this sea turtle. I'd hit that. Like, that's what I want. I want them to just be looking at nature docs. Just drooling.
National Geographic.
Just,
Oh, the fucking scales on that broad.
I want to get in that shell.
Do turtles have scales?
I'll retract the statement. It's not really scales. It's like a really rough
reptilian
skin.
skin.
Yeah.
Reptilian skin? I don't know.
Anyway.
I
Point
think they
is,
do. No, I think
turtles
they do.
should be fucking turtles, and people should be fucking
Fucking people,
people. All right,
and this is-
get it right, TMNT.
Well, so what this movie teaches is that in order to get the girl, you have to be very, very rough and callous, and then fondle her boobs from behind.
Yeah,
Oh,
Casey
God.
is such a fucking predator. Can we talk
Jesus.
about that for a minute?
Like I said, he's a 35-year-old divorcee who decided, I'm going to be a vigilante because I don't know how to cope with my feelings.
Yeah, he treats April like shit for almost the
Hey,
entire movie.
Toots. Hey, doll. Hey, princess. And she's like, don't call me any of those names. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to call you? Her fucking name, Casey.
Right, and then they're in the kitchen together at this farm, and he sees that she's like, oh, my shoulders or whatever.
So he just
and so he
grabs
starts
her.
to like massage her,
And he throws her in
she-
a chair.
Well, she's like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And then he just forces her into the fucking chair.
And then, like, the hands go halfway down.
They're just like massaging
Yeah.
the top of her boobs, just like, hey.
Yeah,
hey,
and then
hey.
it turns into like the stereotypical porn where she's like, "Oh, I guess I'm into this," and
guess
then
I'm
Mikey
interested.
walks in because it's a PG movie. I don't want to think about the turtles masturbating.
I will say-
I don't
one
want
of
to
the
think about.
things-
That's not a big house they have down there in the sewers. They're like, if one of them's jerking off, they're like in eye contact with each other probably, and Splinter's just trying to meditate in the corner.
I don't want to hear this, my sons. Splinter walking around, then he slips. Jesus Christ, I told you to clean up.
Yo, sorry, dude. That
Sorry,
wasn't
Master
totally
Splinter.
tubular of me. I'll
I
get my
swear
turtle.
it was just white pizza sauce. I swear.
Yo, Donnie, you gotta be real with me, bro. Quit getting your turtle slum all over the fucking floor, man.
Which one of you guys fucking jizz down here? Sorry,
Yo.
Raph. Sorry.
I feel like Mikey would be the forward one about it, because he's forward about everything else.
Got that Sea Turtle National Geographic. I mean, they're teenagers, you know. This
No,
is
they
puberty.
totally are,
I
yeah.
really want.
They're like
Have they been
15,
to an
right?
aquarium?
That's. Oh my
I don't want
God.
to think about I'm just picturing this. They're walking and they're normal, and then they see the sea turtles, and they're just immediately all together, like just grabbing their like fake collars and
collars.
like
The trench
sweat,
coat,
like
the trench coat. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, gee.
I
I
like
gotta go to the bathroom.
just, you know, just like them breaking out, like, what the fuck is this giant tortoise in our house? Her name's Linda and I love her.
Well, I'm just picturing a shot of the aquarium bathroom, and it's just like 4 closed locked stalls, and all you can see is the turtles' legs, and they're all just shaking because they're just all.
No, I
jerking off.
want to imagine, you know, like,
And all I hear is
like,
turtle power.
I'm just imagining, you know, like a group of like, you know, children like just walk. It's like, sorry, all right, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Open it, just. Wait,
turtles.
on the ceiling, just like what the fuck?
and it's just green ooze.
Oh.
Oh.
We are not biologists.
We're not biologists. We don't.
Oh yeah, because any of this movie was biologically accurate.
Well, I
What,
mean,
oh, you mean the
turtles-
part? Do you mean the part where the tiny rat puppet was mimicking his master's martial arts moves, and this is a real plot point. Then teaches those martial arts moves to the turtles,
Yeah.
which is why Shredder knows who they are.
I recognize that style. Yeah, you do.
Because a pet rat was able to mimic
And also,
his owner's martial.
And then
the
I-
owner was an incel too. Yoshi's an incel. Totally
what the hell are
an
you
incel.
talking about? He had a wife.
He had a girl he loved, but he also wore the fucking traditional shit more often than anything else. She was a weeaboo also. Let's be
She was a
honest.
fucking
they
weird
were
too.
all weird nerd. It was the 70s in Japan. I can't imagine that was the
I
norm.
can't. That was not the norm.
Right? And he killed her. Like, that's like
Why did he?
I love
kill
how he
her
kills
again?
those two
because
people.
she was gonna run away
Yeah.
with Yoshi to
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
But
Is
it
that
never
just the
explains.
plot point in Mario.
Bowser.
No, that's-
Shredder is just Bowser, but he killed Princess
Peach.
Peach.
Yeah.
But
Wait, hold on. One big plot hole that I have a problem with.
Okay.
How did Master Splinter get to America?
Oh, you know, that's...
How did the rat? Oh wait.
Yeah, Master Splinter is the rat.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
did he get to America in the first place?
It's called An American Tale, but we're going from the Pacific.
It's way too big in the city.
What I really want, so I've noticed, if I may say, a possible pitch, if you're listening to this, DC, you've already put the Ninja Turtles in Injustice, so I'm just saying,
Put
it
'em in a
takes
movie.
place in 1990 in New York, which is pretty much Gotham City in the night, and it takes place in 1987 for the Joker film. I'm just saying, I think that version of the Turtles should fight Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
I don't know.
I think we'd have a lot of fun.
And so they go
Whatever.
back to the apartment, and then Casey confuses claustrophobia for
Homophobic.
being a
Homophobic,
homosexual.
Yeah, that was weird.
I've never
That-
looked at a guy before.
And Donnie's just looking at him like, I said claustrophobia, you dipshit. You're 35. How do you
35?
not know the difference?
Well, he grew up in hockey, where homophobia is not okay. That's a real problem. Different question.
And there's so many dumb fight scenes that have no relevance. We're trying to
April's
restring the
boss's
fights.
son shows up.
Danny, yeah.
Dan.
Dan, he emphasized at the end of
Shows
the
up
film.
Dan Schneider.
In
The Foot Clan, Dan Schneider, second on feet.
Dan shows up at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hideout. The sewers, the
Apartment?
lair.
He was like hiding
Hideout,
there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it never really explains that how he knew where that was.
I feel like maybe he
Yeah,
could have
at the
been part of
beginning
the
of the
group.
movie.
Yeah, he could
Doesn't
have been
he
part of the
follow?
Foot Clan. He could have been part of that raid.
Well,
He
did he
decided to stay
ever?
there.
Well, I don't know that he never earned the shitty bug-eye fucking mask though, did he?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
The shitty Foot Clan
Anyway.
mask that's clearly like $2
and
on
then
eBay.
he runs away,
Because he wants to go free Splinter.
Splinter, and
He wants to help him.
Casey follows.
He-
They go to the
hideout.
The hideout, the
roulette
bitchin', the
place.
cool hideout with the smoking and the Pepsi. Can't forget the
it's
Pepsi.
basically Chuck E. Cheese's, but underground. and
But
for
cooler.
teenagers.
Yes,
Um,
and they free Splinter.
and then
First
get
one.
caught, and then
Casey
Casey
gets-
finds a golf club.
Bludgeons a
basically
man to
fucking
death. Bludgeons.
Hey,
Drives a dude's head across the room.
He fights Tatsu. He doesn't bludgeon him to death because
I know.
Tatsu comes back in Secret of the Ooze, and I can't wait because I actually love Tatsu in Secret of the Ooze.
I mean, who doesn't love Secret of the Ooze?
Well, Tatsu is like really dark and brooding and stereotypical and
And a failure.
a failure. And when he fails, he gets so mad that he beats the shit out of his disciples, which is just him beating up a bunch of teens, by the way, because that's a huge thing in this film. But in the second one, because I feel like the people who made this one kind of realized how much of a
Oh, there was a huge for complaints by parents, and that's like complaint by parents that
I
would
didn't know
change
this.
the tone of the second film.
well, the second film is so much more goofy.
More cartoony and goofy.
They lean into it,
Here's
and
the-
Tatsu is a fucking clown, and I love every second of Tatsu.
Here's what I think is the funniest thing, though, is that it was also like parents complaining, about the first one's too violent and because they use their weapons. What the hell are you talking about? They would have their weapons on, then they would just punch people or kick them.
They
And
almost
would
never
actually
use the
them.
weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah, Leonardo has 2 really sharp fucking swords,
and he would just kind
and
of punch
just
people.
never
Yeah.
actually takes a life.
We're
He
gonna
would
talk
deflect
about the
things.
light.
Well, that's the practical stuff that we wish maybe they used a little bit of CGI. In the first scene, the very first time that the turtles go into action, Raphael throws one of his sais at a
It's just
light
so
to knock the
awkward.
light out. But you
It's-
hear, and they even use the sound design to make it sound like he spun it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's just a handle. But
Just the handle of it, like
Just
not
smacks
flipping,
it.
hits the light.
it just bangs off
Like,
the wall.
It
Just
was either they tried too many times to flip it into the light and couldn't do it,
Yeah.
or they just realized they forgot to get the fucking
Yeah.
insert, so they just
Yeah.
here, just quick, just throw it at the light, just throw it at the
Yeah.
light, and they just they didn't flip it, it just
It
threw
just-
a sideways sigh at the light and it smashed the bulb and they called it
Sigh.
good. It's a sigh.
it's called Sai. Yeah,
Side.
Sai.
No, not
Any
scythe.
of the T8?
No, a scythe.
A scythe, like a Grim
is
Reaper.
a Grim Reaper scythe. A
Oh,
sigh
Is
is
a sai
is
what
the
this
little
yeah.
dipshit thing that Raphael for some reason thinks works in a
Which
fight.
is really dumb because it's like a knife, but you can't slice. You can only
Right.
stab.
That's another thing that I fundamentally have an issue with on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle side. Only Leonardo really has legitimately viable weapons, in my
Wow,
opinion. Legitimately take a life weapons, in my opinion.
It's true, but also here's another fun fact: those swords aren't real in Japanese culture.
Katanas?
No, yeah, he's not carrying katanas. So they're called even like the creators they called ninjatos or nigatos. And so their whole thing was basically they're like slightly shorter katanas and like more like a straight blade, and they were really only used for like the film. But film or even like the show, but they're literally part of showbiz. He is actually not using real they're like
actually
historical
swords.
context. Yeah, no.
Right. Point I'm making though
Cool
is
swords.
they're swords though. Like,
Yeah,
like
they are swords,
you could kill a homie with swords. It's difficult and it looks difficult to fight with sais. Like it does not look like a fun thing to try to do. They're real weapons. Sais are real and they're genuine. But why? Like that just doesn't seem like a really good weapon of choice. And you know what's worse? A stick of wood.
I don't know. The older I get, the
wooden
more I
stick.
feel the bow staff is the most practical.
No, don't get me wrong. Bow staffs are terrifying. But the one that Donnie has is like 3 feet or like 1.5 feet shorter than an actual bow staff is supposed to be. And the way you're supposed to do it is like you manipulate. I've studied monks way too much. Like I actually really think monk culture is really cool. But
Look at this fucking weeb.
shut the fuck. You went on a ridiculous tangent about how the katanas, not katanas, that Leonardo used aren't real and how you knew that from Japanese culture. Don't weeb me in this one, all right?
It's just a fun tidbit.
No, I actually really enjoy. I actually did enjoy that moment. But the point I'm making in actual like monk fighting or whatever, you basically use your entire body weight to whip the staff around to create enough force to do damage. That's not a thing that Donnie ever does or will do.
He just bonks him.
He's a fucking Kermit the Frog character. He's never gonna do that. And the worst of all, which Barrett called out during the film, was Mikey's nunchucks.
Well, yeah, they even they explained it. I think it was on Death Battle or Deadliest Warrior. They even explained that so actually getting the momentum on mastering the nunchuck, hitting someone with it is the equivalent of just hitting them with a baseball bat. So cut out the middleman and just get a baseball bat.
Which is what Casey does.
Yep.
Casey rocks every
hockey
blunt
stick,
object from sports that you can rock.
A golf
A
club,
club, a cricket bat, a baseball bat,
A Jose Canseco
Go bat.
To the Bash Brothers people.
And then he's also, that's what I want. I really want each sequel, he gets more elaborate stuff. So the next one, I got this lacrosse racket. I'm going to use it to net the shredder.
Hey, I play croquet now. I love these croquet mallets.
I'm going to hit him with the birdie.
A tennis racket, yeah.
No, his finishing move. Just there's a slide and he's coming down in a full luge. hits him with a full bobsled. Just dude.
Well, he does that at the end of the film. Not a bobsled, but he just sees a random trash truck that's unlocked.
And
Shredder just
falls into the compactor and he just, with no remorse, kills the shredder.
Oh, I just crash compacted a man.
Looks up at the turtles. Got him, guys. Gives him the thumbs up. I fucked up Shredder. You're welcome. And then the cops show up and don't say a word. Nobody. The kids, nobody. It's just like...
The teenagers that have now been scarred for life by their experiences
with being basically groomed by the Shredder.
You would be my favorite children. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a little fucked that way.
That's the thing. It's also interesting where it's just if you notice hey... if you betray the Shredder, well, good news. As long as you're not part of the official Foot hit squad, nothing happens to you. They just kind of threaten you, and that's
they beat you up a little bit, then you just leave.
It's true, but they only beat up the guys who were actually part of the Foot hit squad, with the masks. But they never actually hit any of the other kids.
That's a point.
And it was also funny where where Casey's like, "What? You guys think you're a family down here?" And it's like, well, no, but they're a group of friends. They formed a community. What are you doing, mister? I run around hitting people with a fucking hockey stick in New York, trying to judge us teens.
Yeah, you are hella fucked up what you're doing. What leads a man to decide that putting on a hockey mask and running around beating up random
I want to know
homies was a great idea.
Isn't he supposed to be a vigilante?
He is a vigilante, but can I get almost a Joker-esque,
backstory
of the psyche of Casey, please?
It starts with him playing hockey, and then he gets injured in a stupid fight.
And a teenager just makes fun of him every day.
And he says, I will beat the shit out of every teen in New York. And he follows through.
You know what? You know why he was in the park when Raphael first runs into him after the purse snatch? A couple purse snatchers steal a purse, and they run through a park, and Casey's there and beats the shit out of him. He was probably sleeping in that park. We never see Casey's home. You know
My
why?
ex-wife took everything.
He's homeless. Guaranteed homeless. He was sleeping, and he saw the two purse snatchers
And
and
then
thought,
he complains
all right.
about sleeping underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... but he's okay sleeping in the cramped little
Yeah.
car.
No, he's not, because he has to roll down the window because he's claustrophobic. And
But
he
also
can't breathe in the
homophobic. Don't
truck.
forget that.
Don't forget he's homophobic. I ain't never looked at no penises ever in my life.
Yeah.
Wow, you're being real defensive here, Casey.
Yeah, can I get the part where Casey explores his sexuality? Because homie's clearly in the closet. Clearly.
But he kisses April at
That's-
the end.
That's such
That was
bullshit.
And she's just like, are you just gonna kiss me or what? And it's like, you guys hate each other.
I clearly don't understand this dynamic. It's
Yeah,
not okay. It's
just-
not endearing. It's not charming. I don't understand how people in the 90s would have found this charming. Like, that's a time thing that I'm like, I don't get it then. I don't get it now.
Oh yeah, and then also on the note of April O'Neil, she was there.
She did just about... You know what she did? She was the plot device. She was the plot vehicle.
That's true.
That literally got them to the
She's
farm.
the,
That's about it. She got
um,
them to the farm. She got her apartment destroyed.
I don't remember what the name of the term is. Like the Maltese Falcon and the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. What's the term for the plot device?
I'm just going to call her a briefcase. Because she's basically the
A
briefcase
briefcase.
in Pulp Fiction.
It's not a good thing to call women briefcases.
She's not an object. I'm saying in the sense of, like, the meaning of the briefcase in the film.
I'd say
She
just go
plays
with
a
plot
similar
vehicle
role.
then.
That's still an object. Whatever. Point is, she's irrelevant. She is irrelevant other than getting them to the farm and also being a reason for the turtles to not be
She
home.
does bonk a foot guy on the head.
After being set up
Bonk.
by Donna? One of them basically like knocks the dude into her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
She's
Mikey.
hiding there with
Mikey
the bow
pushes
staff,
him back
and he,
into it.
A
she just
MacGuffin.
bops him.
A MacGuffin.
MacGuffin,
Okay,
there we
okay,
go.
I get what she is a MacGuffin. She's basically a MacGuffin.
An
I
egg
agree with you.
MacGuffin.
Stop that. She's not an egg.
A
She's
delicious
she was our
sausage, egg, and
egg
cheese
MacGuffin. Yeah. So all in all,
She is literally the driver for the VW van again that gets them to the farm.
that's about it. That is about the relevance. That, and she is the weirdly sexual interest for the viewer. She is the sexual
Yeah.
interest for almost
For
all of the
every-
turtles. I don't know that Leo doesn't ever show the interest. Because like
He's a
Leo's
good
that
boy.
stoic homie who wants
He's
to
a
be
good
leader,
boy.
and he's
He
like,
wants to eat
leaders
people.
don't fuck humans.
And he's like, yo, guys, I don't want to be me too'd here.
Leo's the only one who's
Oh.
like, hey guys, we're turtles.
We're
and
turtles.
She's
She
a
is a
woman.
human.
We probably shouldn't. This
It could
this is
not work.
weird. This feels
Well,
weird.
And Splinter.
Mikey, I hate to remind you, that's bestiality, bro.
Splinter's not into her.
That's
Well,
true.
right, but
we're
Splinter's
talking about
like-
the
right.
the puberty-driven turtles.
Right, Splinter is the wise
Okay.
old master, right?
It's
I once fucked a raccoon.
After becoming full size.
After becoming full size, take that, raccoon.
I don't know what you're supposed to. I don't know how you're gonna call that illegal in any way, shape, or form. He's still an animal. What are you gonna? What? You gonna persecute the rat?
well, I mean, nobody knows they exist, so how can you persecute them?
Well, there you go. Which means this next
Are
sentence
turtles-
is gonna quote really badly in the future, but Splinter rape is a victimless crime.
We gotta cut that. Because you
Nope,
said the
nope,
R word.
No, okay.
You said the
It's
R
right.
word. That's
Okay. How did the raccoon consent? How did the raccoon consent to Splinter having sex with it?
There was a nod.
That's
Why
not
are we
enough.
talking
That's
about
not enough.
Splinter sex?
Because we want to make
'Cause
sure that
we
he's
know-
getting some. He's a good dude. We're just
Splinter
looking out for our
deserves
boy.
some. Splinter deserves some.
Consensually.
What I'm saying.
He deserves some consensually. Consensually.
What I'm saying is this anamorphic homie having sex with a full animal. Like, it's bad, but there's no way for me to find like a legal problem with this that can actually be prosecuted. Like, this is one of the movie problems for me. Weirdly
Yo, who is?
enough.
I love that. That's like all your notes. It's just who is Splinter fucking? He deserves to fuck someone.
He deserves something because he can't fuck other rats. Rats are so tiny. He can't fuck that. What is he gonna do? That's like jerking off with a rat. He can't do that. So yeah, of course he's gonna fuck a raccoon.
It's the monkey and the turtle. Or the monkey and the frog.
The monkey and the frog. Oh.
Which, if you haven't seen that, look it
Don't
up.
look it up.
Don't look.
You know what? You know what? I think you deserve to see that video, actually. But right, like you can't fuck a rat, so I mean a raccoon kind of makes sense. What's the world's largest capybara? That's the world's largest rodent, right?
I think so.
You fuck a capybara. Those get kind of big.
My sons, I need you to leave. I'm having a date with a capybara tonight.
My son's
bringing her back
find
here.
me this capybara. It is important.
She's so beautiful.
It is important to your training.
So
Master Splinter's just a creep.
I mean, he did find 4 turtles and then raise them as his sons, even though he's a rat.
I don't know if that's so
Because
much
he's a
creep
I feel like that's
as it is.
exposed to ooze. I have a weird paternal instinct. All right, get in here.
Holy
Anyway.
shit, you guys got huge.
Holy
Wait, I know
crap.
Kung Fu. I could teach you Kung Fu.
Holy shit, it's all coming together.
That's all to say, including the rat fucking a raccoon.
I can't get the image of Master Splinter trying to masturbate
Trying
using
to mount
rat.
a raccoon.
Okay.
Trying to mount.
April O'Neil
Yes.
has almost no true.
She's just kind of the victim in all states.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
Like,
for
she
her.
well, no,
loses
like-
her apartment.
Loses
She
her job.
Well,
her job.
the whole complex gets burned down.
Yeah.
And not to mention the antique
Was
store
her
that
father's,
she kept
yeah.
open for her dad, who is
Which
dead.
is never touched again. After
No,
it's mentioned,
it's a fight
it's
scene.
never
it
touched.
doesn't hurt her emotionally at all.
Well, she when she's not driving the van again, because Casey's driving the van again, as they leave,
Yeah.
she runs to the back of the van and looks out at the window, and we don't get the reverse shot, really, of the entire apartment complex burning down.
We only get it burning down from the point of view of either Tatsu or Shredder. I don't remember
Yeah.
which one, but we get it from like they're on like the top of a building and they see
Mhm.
it burning and that's it.
Yeah.
Why do they care? Why don't we
Right.
see it from
And then-
April's fucking point of view? That's her fucking livelihood and her dad's shop
And
burning
then
down.
yeah, and then she gets a corner office and becomes the best paid field reporter.
In New York.
And then
Yeah, because her boss had fired her because the police put pressure on them because they were
Yeah,
reporting
Officer
mean
Stern
shit about
or
the police.
whatever.
Yeah,
Who
total hardcore police corruption here,
Yep.
by the way. And they don't even try to
That's
like play
New
off
York.
the police in any positive light
Yeah.
in this film. At
I
all.
really don't.
They're
I
either
think,
not doing their jobs well or
yeah.
they are basically forcing news outlets
Yeah.
to not report that they're not doing their jobs well. You know?
I want to talk about. I think one of my favorite moments is I really felt like April O'Neil when she was reporting on like what's happening in New York really shit the bed. I thought it was the funniest thing. Is when she comes on. She's like, I've been talking to a lot of Japanese experts, and so what we're seeing in this crime wave are these ninja thieves that used to plague Japan. What?
When were there ninja thieves?
What?
It's weird. They treat Japan in
Like this
in
mythical
1990
place.
like it's still feudal Japan over
Exactly.
there.
I mean, this was during like the Extreme Kicks, and like 3 years later we would get the premiere of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Right.
And it's very funny. Where like it's really interesting. Where it's like the idea of welcoming Asian cultures.
Yeah.
And like it's like, yeah, we love martial arts. This is so cool. Oh, cool. Does that mean we could have a Japanese or Chinese or even Korean lead actor? No, it's got to be a white guy doing karate.
Oh,
no.
not at all. Yeah.
No.
No Asians. But
Go on.
I do like talking about the Great Wall. Well, that's the one with
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, right?
Because
America said that was whitewashing. Where it was made, and the director, who was Asian, everyone did not. And that's a really important distinction, and there's too many instances where people are speaking up for a group that is actually not representative of that group. Does that make sense?
So the problem with that movie, from my understanding, and again, it's been a long time since I've read or
I looked
done
into it
any
way
re-
too much. I'm happy to talk about it.
is that it's the white savior complex, right?
Yes.
That's the problem with that movie, right?
From the perspective of the West, yes. That was the issues that people had
Yeah.
with that film.
Which is the perspective of the West that we have to clarify that is a big problem as well, right?
I agree. But from what I'm saying is from the perspective of the people making it, which were mostly Chinese directors, Chinese producers, it was a movie made to do well in China.
Yeah.
They talked about this. They were like, no, we're not trying to do a white savior thing. Matt Damon is just for some reason incredibly popular in China.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
China fucking loves Matt Damon. So they were like,
Damon.
I like Matt Damon.
I like
I love
Matt
Matt
Damon.
Damon.
I
like
you know.
Matt
The
Damon.
Martian is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Let's watch
The Martian
Pearl
is
Harbor. You know, let's
Oh,
all
yeah!
sit down. Let's watch Pearl Harbor sometime.
But what I'm saying is, it was one of those instances of quote unquote Western culture, or just in this case a group of people not actually representative of another group of people saying that it was a problem on behalf of this other group of people when that group of people didn't care and in fact loved it that way.
I remember. I remember it was when I saw Isle of Dogs, the Wes Anderson film Isle of
I
Dogs.
love
in
Isle of
theaters.
Dogs.
I know it's so good,
much.
but I
if you
found it
haven't seen
interesting.
Isle of Dogs,
Um,
put TMNT on the shelf. Watch it later. Go see Isle of Dogs first.
and then watch TMNT. But
do watch it. It's worth it.
But
It's worth it.
I remember like leaving that theater, and my I guess at the time my then girlfriend, I remember she was like, I just found it a little messed up that the only people who spoke English were white, and I'm like, what? What? Where did this come from? I don't what?
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm like, they
that's
were
a
the
little too-
translators. I don't understand.
See, that's where. Fuck. I don't want to talk more politics. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go down.
Let's
that
go
aisle.
back to
That's
let's
where
go back
you
to
can get
Master
too
Splinter.
far one way or the other,
I feel like
and it
let's-
becomes a problem.
Let's jump back into Master Splinter fucking a raccoon.
No.
Now, do you think they did missionary or cowgirl?
I'm gonna argue it was doggy style, and the only reason I
gonna
call it
vote
doggy
rat tail.
style. That's gross.
Rat tail's not what?
I'm saying doggy
That's
style.
a shitty hairstyle from the 90s, not sex.
I'm saying it's doggy style solely because it was most likely Master Splinter holding the raccoon, looking the other direction, and just moving the raccoon back and forth.
I like to imagine cowgirl.
Is rat penis like dog penis? Like, is it like a dog
I don't
penis
know.
where?
I don't want to think about it.
But is
We're
he
doing a
circumcised?
podcast about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And Master
not
Splinter is an integral
rats
part.
fucking
Hold on.
raccoons.
Master Splinter is an integral part of the story.
And he deserves
And
to get
I
laid.
am very concerned for his sex life. The homie deserves.
He's
a
been
little
living
bit
in
of
a
loving.
sewer his whole life.
Exactly. So anyway, they all Shredder's dead, and because he gets compacted by Casey,
And then it just kind of ends.
they just high five on the top
That's
of the
it,
roof.
the high
and
five, and that's it.
Cowabunga.
They say cowabunga, and the credits roll.
No, the best thing is when is the last line from Splinter. He says, "I made a funny, ha ha ha."
He does say
He
that.
does say that.
Oh, this one. Watching a second time as an adult was really rough.
Oh man, wait
it
till
was so much fun to laugh at, but
Yeah.
god damn, it was so
Wait
bad.
till we watch Secret of the Use, because those same group of parents, they complained about the weapons. So in this one, the weapons don't even come out of the sheets. It's just them using things around them to fight people with.
I didn't even think I've seen Secret of the Ooze a very large amount of times, and I never even thought about that.
Yeah, no,
but
no.
I have a feeling that we're all gonna love Secret of the Ooze
I
in
also,
comparison
To
to this
this?
film,
I'm just
because they got so
excited.
goofy with it.
How long did it take for Secret of the Ooze to come out after this?
It was 2 or 3 years. Well, we have the technology to check. We're sitting here on HBO Max looking at the movies. All right, here, hold on. First one came out in 1990.
It's gonna take you back to the top. Yep, there we go.
No, we're
Oh,
good.
right
We're here.
there.
We're here.
Yep. Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze came out 91. Literally, the next.
91.
This movie came out and the next one was already shooting.
Wow, faster than Marvel.
That's crazy.
Right,
It
check
took
on the
them
third
a
one for me.
year. The third one, I feel
Turtles
like
in
there was.
Time.
I think Turtles in Time. There was a little break between
Damn.
Turtles in Time because.
Oh
this-
no, I
this
guess
got
it was
weird.
actually just called 3.
It was 2 years later.
2 years. Yeah.
2 years later.
Oh my God! Look at the
That Photoshop is
the
really
photo
bad.
of them for the
Helmets.
third one is with these really old samurai helmets.
The
I don't
turtles
know.
must cowabunga their way back to the 70s.
No, don't spoil it for
Don't
yourself.
spoil it for these people.
Yeah, you
no,
gotta-
trust me. You don't. It's better to go into that one blind. Trust me.
Trust it.
Better to go into that one
Spies
blind.
in Disguise, great movie. Sorry.
What a plug.
What a
plug for
plug.
Spies
It's a
in
good
Disguise.
movie.
I'm not saying it
Well,
wasn't.
I guess do we have any closing
All right.
remarks? I would say.
If you want to watch, as an adult, if you want to watch this movie, I recommend either just watch it to laugh at it,
Be
or
blitzed.
watch it
Be blitzed out of your mind.
or high or drunk, because you're gonna have a really fun time. If you try to watch this movie for just nostalgia's sake, you're gonna be very disappointed. Like
I
really
mean, or you
disappointed.
could just ride that. I mean, I think that's fine to ride that wave of goofiness. To also, for nostalgia's sake, just to
Well,
ride that wave of like, yeah, man. Like,
if you're watching it
this
to
is
laugh
serious.
at it for,
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to ride it for the nostalgia's sake, and I couldn't. Like it was too bad. But when I just said, oh, this is a dumb movie that's fun, and not thinking of it like, oh, I love this as a kid, I still love this, then I liked it more. That was just for me. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This movie is rough. It's really rough. But if you just sit back and turn your brain off and laugh about it, it's a fun movie.
I mean, yeah.
Minus the
I agree. I think
the predatory stuff that Casey does.
That Casey Jones beating up teenagers and grabbing women.
Yeah, those are my closing remarks. You guys go.
Yeah, I think I had a great time. I think for anyone who's a fan of the Ninja Turtles, I still think this is just a fun little time capsule to look back at. It's also just really fascinating to realize that these live action films did spin off like a whole album and tour, like a musical tour across the country. It's wild.
You just unlocked something in my brain, dude. My grandma had all of these on VHS, and on the third one, the weird time travel one, it also had the Christmas Turtles album on it. After you watched the whole movie and all the credits, it did a music video with them in the suits of a Turtles Christmas. And now I can't get the images of that out of my head.
I'll probably look this up after we're done recording. I want to watch this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I say? Well, obviously, I love sifting through trash. You know that. I would say I'm a film raccoon in the sense of, because I fuck Master Splinter.
I will never be able to look at a raccoon ever again and not think about.
And I'd think, hey baby, you want to come back to my sewer?
I think I have 4 sons. They are turtles. Is that okay?
Is that cool? Yeah, so obviously watch fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I would assume the next one we're gonna watch Secret of the Ooze, because I'm not really jazzed about watching.
Yeah, I want to do Secret of the Ooze, and I really want to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as somebody who never watched, I did not watch a lot as a kid of really anything. As somebody who didn't follow Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid at all, and this is actually my first time really watching anything of it. It's rough, but I see the appeal as a kid, right? It's 4 wacky dudes who love pizza and watching weird movies.
Yeah.
Which I have to admit we like doing. We like pizza and watching weird movies.
Yes. I wouldn't say we're as religious about pizza as them, though.
Oh, come on. Pizza's so good.
Pizza's so good, but we don't eat it every meal. Eat. How are they not fat as fuck, by the way?
How do they not just super constipated from all that cheese?
What does that have to do with anything? They still only eat...
They're talking turtles.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they got the ooze, which is just... It's just Arnold Schwarzenegger steroids. That's all that was. They fell down.
Anyway.
We're calling you out, Arnold.
I see the
We're not.
appeal.
You keep trying to make enemies.
I like you, Arnold. I'm sorry.
I see the appeal for kids. Like... Right now, I mean, I don't think I'd go and watch all the Teenage Mutant Ninja stuff, like, as a 22-year-old or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I see the appeal as a kid, and it was fun to watch the movie and go, yeah, those animatronics are rough by today's standards, but yeah, if you want something to laugh at and have fun, go watch it. That's the review,
yeah,
I think.
I agree with that. Okay, so on 3, we all gotta say if we recommend or don't recommend the film. All right.
I feel like we just did, though.
I was just trying to start a thing that would have been.
I feel like we already did the thing.
Yeah. End of podcast. Thank you. Hurts my feelings. I'm gonna go cry.
Yeah. Thanks for. Well, that's Jabbermouths, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh wow, he's really walking out of here. Yeah. All right.
Oh, he's crying. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Well, I hate all of you.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, next time, Secret of the Ooze. Oh, I'm real jazzed. All right. Signing off.